The desperate search for 10-month-old Lisa Irwin. Police spoke with her parents again this weekend as investigators scoured the family's home for more clues. NBC's Peter Alexander is in Kansas City with the latest. Peter, good morning.
Matt, good morning to you. Another very busy weekend here at the home of baby Lisa Irwin. Investigators say they now have at least 250 tips, some from as far away as California. And while they've largely scaled back their ground search for this 10-month-old baby, they have picked up efforts here at the home of Lisa Irwin, looking for any new evidence that can lead them to clues of where to find this missing baby girl.
1 week later, and still no answers in the case of baby Lisa Irwin. Sunday night, a candlelight vigil for the 10-month-old affectionately called Pumpkin Pie. At the Irwin home this weekend, investigators tried to recreate how an abductor might have gotten inside, as the parents have suggested, crawling through a window over and over, recording the entire thing. Sunday, investigators also went door to door here, asking about a local handyman who hasn't been seen since before Lisa disappeared. Police haven't declared him or anyone else a suspect, but the detectives' questions have neighbors speculating.
To especially think somebody that works next door might have had something to do with it, that has played with your kids, has seen your kids, has talked to them, they know him, it's scary.
Meanwhile, detectives scanned the Irwins' front and backyards with metal detectors and once again searched a nearby landfill.
Bring her home. We need her. We are not a family without her. She's everything to us.
After several desperate pleas last week, Lisa's parents, Jeremy Irwin and Deborah Bradley, did not speak publicly this weekend. Last week, police said they'd stopped cooperating, but this weekend, the parents met again with investigators.
We're all at the same table right now, and that's the best thing for the investigation, no doubt about it.
Lisa's parents reported her missing last week after Jeremy returned from working his first overnight shift as an electrician. And on a night Deborah says she can't remember locking the front door. Friday on Today, Matt asked them if they had any reason to suspect one another.
Question, Jeremy, when you look at Debbie, do you have any suspicions that there's anything she's not telling you relating to the disappearance of Lisa?
None whatsoever.
Any doubt in your mind that he hasn't told you something?
No. He's a good father, and he's good to me, and he loves her, and everybody loves her.
Handing out flyers for baby Lisa.
Lisa's heartbroken relatives have stepped up their own efforts, handing out hundreds of flyers Sunday to NASCAR fans at the Kansas Speedway.
She was kidnapped out of her home on Monday night, and the cops basically don't have any tips, don't know where she is.
And one other odd twist in this story, NBC News has learned that Deborah Bradley, Lisa Irwin's mother, who lived in this home with Lisa Irwin's father, Jeremy, was in fact still married and is in fact still married to another man. Police say that man is not a suspect. He is reportedly away right now serving in the Army. Matt.
All right, Peter Alexander, thank you very much. NBC News analyst Clint Van Zandt is a former FBI profiler. Clint, good morning to you.
Hi, Matt. Good morning.
Good morning. It doesn't seem like the police have an awful lot to go on, so let's just take some little things we know. First of all, they're going around the neighborhood. They're knocking on doors. In some cases, according to one family they talked to, the FBI, I think, actually talked to, they're showing a picture of a handyman who may have worked in the neighborhood, may have a criminal record, and from what I understand, hasn't been seen since Lisa disappeared. What do you make of this?
Well, if we think back to the Elizabeth Smart kidnapping, we know that was a handyman who worked in a neighborhood, in fact, who worked in her house, who eventually kidnapped her. So I think it's the FBI, the local police responsibility. You have to eliminate the family, you have to eliminate the neighbors, you have to eliminate the people who work in that community. So far, there's a number of people that has not been eliminated.
Yeah, but with the clock ticking in terms of how long this girl has been missing, if law enforcement had real worries about this handyman, wouldn't they take this wider? Wouldn't they make his name and his picture public?
Well, sometimes they want to find him first. Realize they've got about 300 investigators working this, so they can throw a lot of people at trying to find him. But I agree with you. If you've got a suspect, there's no better way to find that person, perhaps, than to get his picture up in front of the media.
All right, let's talk about this recreation. You saw the police officer going through the window at the home a number of times. Do these things generally help?
Well, you've got to convince yourself it really happened this way, Matt. Number one, could it actually happen the way the mothers suggest? And number two, how did that window get open? You know, if it was a screwdriver, if it was a crowbar or something, that's going to leave what's called tool marks. That could really help to identify, when we find the person perhaps responsible, how this happened. But again, police have to convince themselves that it was an outsider as opposed to somebody within the family.
Let me ask you about something we learned on Friday, Clint. We spoke to the mother in this case, Debbie, and she told us that police had informed her she failed a polygraph as part of the investigation. She has not been called a person of interest or a suspect. So how significant would that be? Does it happen from time to time?
Well, it does. A polygraph is one more investigative tool. That's why in all but one state in the country that a polygraph results can't be used as evidence. And again, I've seen spies who pass a polygraph. I've seen innocent people who fail it. So a polygraph is really an investigative tool, but what it depends on is the interviewing skills of the polygrapher himself or herself. But again, Matt, one more tool in the tool belt that investigators are using.
And real quickly, the family is apparently trying to get together some money for a reward fund. Does money help in a case like this? You'd think people would want to just help this little girl.
Yeah, you would think so too. But Matt, it's been a week. Nobody's come forward with information that leads to her any motivator, and we're all motivated by different things. So do you do it or not do it? Matt, it can't hurt. Let's get it out there so that we've touched all the bases once again, trying to bring this little 10-month-old girl home.
All right, Clint Van Zandt. Clint, as always, thanks very much.
Thank you.